Well, good morning, friends. We are having coffee on the patio. Well, I'm having coffee. Max is just having a good sun. We thought we'd do a pop-up. It's Sunday morning. Gorgeous day. What do you think? What do you think? Yeah, it's just such a nice day. We thought we'd pop out and have some coffee on the patio. I'm getting to our usual Sunday stuff. And we have folks joining us. Sim had sock. Deb Bertolin. Marco. Marco says, Bok Bok. Do you have a Bok Bok for Marco? Bok Bok. Max says he's not awake yet. He'll bok for you a bit later, okay, Marco? Hello, April. Hi, Breezy Cleo. I know, fancy seeing us around here. Yeah, no, just such a beautiful day. And it is Max's Hatchversary weekend. So he loves sitting out on the patio. So sun's shining, so it was a great day to pop out here. We had a birthday live stream yesterday. And we're going to have another big party on the 1st, which is his actual hatch day. Or the day that we actually celebrate it, right, Max? So if you were with us yesterday, thank you. Yeah. We'll talk a bit more about his hatchiversary. Hey, April. Yeah. You're so handsome. Yeah, that sun really looks good on his feathers. And when the weather cooperates, I mean, we might as well pop out. Enjoy a bit of nice weather. We had rain last night, didn't we, buddy? Yeah. Water barrel's still dripping. You just want to look over there, huh? Hello, Max might bark a little bit later. Thanks for saying he's cute, Dragon. Hey, Max. Dragon thinks you're cute. Yeah, just keeping an eye on everything that's happening. Now, birds' vision. Their eyes are placed on the side of their head, and they can see 270 degrees around. So there is a spot right at the back of their head where they cannot see quite what's going on. And Max trusts me with that spot. Yeah. When he's looking at me, he trusts that I'm keeping an eye out behind his back. And when he's got his back to me, he trusts that, I've got his back, and he's just keeping an eye for us. Right, buddy? Yeah. It's going to be a scorcher today. Bird's eye vision, absolutely. Max has better hair. Well, than me too. Max has gorgeous feathers. Gorgeous, honey. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I don't think Max is fully awake just yet. He likes to sleep in. He likes to nap. He likes to chill. Right, buddy? Yeah. Buddy, what do you think? Oh, Blaine says, hello from Cabo San Lucas, Mexico home base, Fort McMurray, Alberta. And he thinks you're beautiful. You know what, Blaine? Max's home base is Calgary, Alberta. I'm sure you've flown through a lot if you work up at Fort Mac. April says our daughter's name is Calgary, spelt with a K. That is so cool. Yeah. It's actually a really pretty name. Hi, buddy. Yeah, are you happy, Max? That was just a fly going by. Logan. You know, we don't need your kind of negativity and trolling. He's a Moluccan cockatoo, that's correct. He's pretty happy right now. He's had a big weekend. He's tried to take down his Hatch Day celebration decorations. And I've told him they've got to stay up. We're having another party on the 1st, aren't we? I have not decided yet exactly what time that party's going to be or where it's going to be. If the weather's nice, do you want to have a party outside, folks? I'm not sure if you said no to that or if you just said no in general, Max. Max is a toddler, and one of his favorite words right now is no. Oh, Dragon says 1,000 pats on the head for you, Max. Max says 2 is enough right now. He'll collect the rest later. Well, if you're going to fluff, not into my coffee, okay? Blaine says, born and raised in Fort Mac, Calgary and Edmonton are their second homes. Love that Banff has Max. Ever been there with all the wildlife? We got wildlife around here a bit. So Max has never been out to the mountains. He's never been out to Kananaskis. So I'll let you know the secret about Max. Max likes houses and people. He always enjoys just hanging out close to buildings, and fields and wild spaces make him quite nervous. He's getting better at that. Been down to Fish Creek Park, and there's a great video where he met a baby moose. It was actually pretty funny when we met the moose. We were a safe distance away, and it was on a bike path in Fish Creek Park, and we were just in awe. I mean, epic Canadian moment. Reminded me of Hinterland's Who's Who from the 70s when I grew up. Some folks will remember that series, put on by Canada. Just epic. I actually did a tribute to that with Max and the Moose. Didn't get a lot of views, but it was kind of fun. Hinterland's Who's Who Max style. But, so Max met the moose, and he was out in the nature there. He thought it was okay, but he does get nervous when he's out walking in nature. He much prefers being close to houses. Tico the Gray, however, is the one who really likes hiking in places like Fish Creek and the mountains, where there are fewer people and more nature and fewer homes and fewer cars. So Tico's a little bit more of an introvert, and he likes nature. So we've actually got a great picture of Tico out, actually a few of them out in the mountains, and he's been out there a few times with us. Usually enjoys himself. I've taken Tico on the 3-hour hike through the mountains. By the time we're finally getting back to the car, Tico's saying, "Hey, I'm done. Can we just be there already?" Forgets that he's just sitting on my arm, but he does get tired with those kind of trips, but he's had a lot of fun with them. Max is getting better with nature. I mean, when he met the moose, there were enough people around that he thought it was pretty cool, and he was enjoying himself. Right, buddy? Yeah, buddy. Yeah. And he had some fun. Now, with the moose, what was really funny is we stopped to look at the moose and take a bunch of pictures. Right, Max? And, what else do you do, right? You don't see a baby moose all the time, especially not in Calgary city limits. And we had a bunch of people stopping and taking pictures of Max. And one conversation with somebody, I said, "Isn't that awesome?" "Yeah, absolutely. You don't see that every day." And I agreed. And we talked for a couple minutes. I was admiring the moose and just saying, we are so lucky. And the person who was standing there taking pictures of Max probably thought that I was the most conceited individual in the world. She was talking about Max, and I was talking about the moose. When I actually mentioned the moose, she looked at me and said, "What moose?" And I said, "I thought we were talking about the baby moose right over there." And she had a good laugh, but she was talking about Max. You asked her about that, huh? But for me, the experience of running into a baby moose was just magical. It was so very, very awesome. And it was so beyond what I'd ever expected. And I just felt so fortunate and lucky. For her, the experience of running into Max was the exact same thing. And that, that's always kind of humbling, isn't it, Max? Yeah. Yeah, so we've got some questions. Yeah. Tariq, so glad you're joining us from the UK. Debbie says, "I'd love to meet Max." Max says he's in trouble. You're not in trouble, buddy. There's always opportunities to meet Max. If you are in Calgary, we go out and about semi-often, and there's always events like Parrot Palooza where Max is going to be. Sometimes we will advertise and we'll just let you know where you can run into Max if you are out and about, and we'll drop some breadcrumbs for you. 2 weeks ago we had the Parrot Club fundraiser barbecue, and Max was there, and that was oh so much fun. If you're not from Calgary, meeting Max is a little bit harder. If you're a regular on our channel and you're passing through Calgary, make sure you message us and we'll see what we can arrange. No promises, but we'll see what we can arrange. We have met up with folks from out of town before. Cannot meet up with Max, you just pooped and you hit the chair in my skirt. That was not very good, honey. I guess I'm here until it dries. And then this dress is going in the wash. Oh, Maxie. Oh, Maxie. That was a squirty one. A squirty poopy one. There. All right. Right there. He hit me. He missed his leash. He missed his feathers. He could have given me a little bit more notice. But Mom, I'm allowed to go poop here. And yeah, I suppose the cushion is sticking out more than it usually does. Well, I'm sitting here with a nice cup of coffee. I'm just using an older cup when I'm outside because sometimes things happen outside and dishes get broken, right, Max? I'm not naming names. Max has thrown a mug off of the table before when he's been startled by a sparrow and deployed wings and protest. He's not too happy. He hit the cup with his wing. The cup went flying, and he said, "Mom, why did you hit my wing with the cup? You should have known putting it on the table it was going to hit me." Yeah, Max. Yeah, but if you are local, if you are in Calgary, I mean, there's always opportunities to meet Max. And if you are a regular, when I say regular, I mean you're regularly commenting, we know your name, we recognize you. The odds are much, much higher that we will meet up with you if you are just coming through the city. Because, you're then a super fan, right? So, not that we're trying to pick sides, and I know there's a lot of you who just watch quietly in the background, but we always try to meet up with super fans. And, because meeting up with Max, I mean, it can take a couple of hours out of our day, and we can't do that every day, right, Max? We try to meet up with a few people a year. And, certainly we've got some friends who've traveled a pretty good distance. We've got one friend from Germany who's coming later this summer. It's so exciting. And we've got another friend who's traveling a good distance this fall. And, I mean, we've already been chatting with them. We already know that they're coming, and we are already planning on meeting them. I mean, there's no way that we wouldn't not meet them. Right, Max? Usually we'll meet up. What are you doing, honey? at a neutral location in public, just for everybody's safety. Right, Max? Want everybody to be comfortable. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, does that feel good, honey? Oh, good scritchies. Did you... Okay, you're missing your feathers there, hon. You're distracted. Distracted by the bumblebees? I keep telling myself the bumblebees are fine. 9:45 a.m. What do you see? Yeah, there are people running. You're the parrot. You wanted them to say, "Oh, look, it's a parrot," huh? But oh, look, it's people. It's people running. Yeah, Mr. Barista in training, huh? A nice cup of black coffee. Yeah, Tico's the gray parrot. He's inside right now. He's actually having a bit of a munch on some watermelon. Tico really loves watermelon rind. He likes full-size watermelons. He's not as much of a fan of the one I picked up. It's a mini. It's a little bit mealy. It's not the best. I'll agree, Max. I think the watermelon you had 2 weeks ago was sweeter. But you got watermelon. Hello. I'm just scrolling through and catching up on comments. April says I need a passport. Debbie's Niagara Falls, New York. Niagara Falls, you're almost Canadian. I mean, just the other side of Niagara Falls is Canada, but we're in Western Canada. We're Calgary, so pretty good distance away. I know we have a lot of friends who are overseas. And if you're in Europe, you don't really understand quite often the distances that are involved in somewhere like Canada. It's not something where from Calgary you can take a day trip out to Toronto. It always amazes me when I go to Europe just how close the countries are and how you can drive from one to the next in almost no time. Everything is so close together. Everything is, it's a really, really unique experience just seeing how accessible things are. Flights to other cities in Europe are also super affordable. And when you look at it, it seems unfair, but then you stop to think, a flight in Calgary, I mean, you're going a pretty far distance. You're using a lot of jet fuel. It's not the same as the tiny, tiny hops that you see in Europe. Right, Max? Yeah. Hi, Kylie. Kylie and her goats. You met some goats at a petting zoo, didn't you, Max? They did not know what to make of you, and you did not know what to make of them. And you kind of were a big hit, weren't you, honey? Yeah. Oh, Max. Oh, Max, yeah. Oh, so glad you joined us, Marco. Yeah. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Max's Hatchversary just as soon as I finish up rolling through comments. Breezy's never been to Calgary. Calgary's great. I mean, we've got the mountains. Within a really short drive, you can head out to Kananaskis, the mountains, Lake Louise. There's so much to see and do out here. I mean, it's actually a good spot for a vacation. Dragon says, can I draw Max? If yes, I'll post to my channel so you can see it. We love fan art. Absolutely, you can. Make sure you tag us and make sure you send it to us. We don't always see every single tag, unfortunately. But when you post it, let us know. And we will post it on our community page and we'll share it out with our folks and say, hey, look what Dragon did. So just make sure that we are aware that it's there. Okay, Dragon? If you're ever trying to reach us, website is www.maxthemoluccan.com. And there is a contact form on there. Right, Max? That's sometimes the fastest way to get us. No pumpkin. Oh, boy. Yes, Ice Cries. Max is Canadian. We're in Calgary, so that means during the winter, we actually have things called Chinooks, where the weather warms up and a lot of snow melts, and it's warm enough to go outside in a hoodie. Not quite warm enough to go out with completely, it's not quite short weather, but it's hoodie weather. And Max absolutely loves that he gets to go outside. Hoodies extend the winter for him. Yeah, I know, buddy. Awesome. So yeah, we're just catching up. If you are new to our channel, make sure you give us a like and a subscribe. That really makes a big difference. So Max's Hatchversary, what's that all about? Max is turning 31 on Canada Day, which is July the 1st. How ultimately Canadian. Yeah, it's an easy date to remember. It's exactly halfway through the year. And we picked that as his Hatchversary date because we don't know exactly what day he was born. So we picked a date to celebrate, and we picked July the 1st. It's guaranteed always to be a holiday, right, Max? At least in Canada. So we started our Hatchversary celebrations yesterday with a live stream. Max had some treats. We had a small party, had some fun, and celebrations are continuing. I mean, today we can say is just part of the celebration. Max, sitting out on the patio enjoying yourself. A lot of folks are wishing us a happy Hatchversary, and a lot of folks are saying, well, how can I send him a gift? And Max has got a really special ask this year for Hatchversary gifts, don't you, Max? Max has some really, really good friends over at Greta's Roost. And Greta's Roost is a local rescue. They service southern Alberta, including Calgary, and they do an incredible amount of good work. Our friend Mango, I think you know Mango, almost went there. He's almost rehomed through there. But there are a lot of birds that go through places like Greta's Roost. And we like to support. We like to do some social good, right, Max? So we're trying to help Greta's Roost get better set up for the larger birds. You know, birds the size of Max and Mango, birds the size of macaws, they do come through the roost. And they don't have really good cages to care for them. Quite often birds come without cages, or they come in cages that have a lot of damage on them. And housing is expensive. When you're talking about a large cage for a large bird with a beak like this, remember, these beaks are built to destroy things. Lesser quality cages are easily broken by the larger birds, and you need to look at something that's a really high quality cage, like something like a king's. It's going to last. And it's really not optional. I mean, you cannot just put one of these birds in a smaller cage. They need room to stretch their wings, and you cannot put them in a cage that they're going to be able to bite through. So one of the best options for the big guys like this is a king's cage. They're really, really well built. And, you know, myself, I've got, Mango has a king's cage. Chico's got one of Mango's second cages, which is also a king's. But we've also got Avian Adventures. But the Avian Adventures, Tico's actually broken a bar on that cage. Not too bad. It's fine for Tico. Our cages are showing signs of wear, but it's okay for us. But somewhere like a rescue, they are not going to be putting a bird in a cage that is damaged or rusted or anything of that nature. They need to make sure that their cages are really, really good shape. Quite often, if they have to put a bird in a new cage, that cage will go with the owners, and they will include that in the adoption fee, and then they replace the cage. But getting those cages to begin with is quite expensive. The best way for them to get cages is, you know, we're going to order through the States. There's no two ways about that. That's where all the manufacturers are over here. But when you're shipping, if we can get a pallet of cages, that's going to knock down the cost of cages. We could, and buying bulk is also going to knock down the cost of cages. Right now, if Greta wants to buy a cage, they're spending a couple of $1,000s on a cage plus shipping. Or a single cage. Gets really expensive. If we can raise enough money that they can pull in a pallet of cages, they can, you know, we can get a pallet of cages for around, and shipping for around 10K Canadian, which is really, really good. And that's pretty much wholesale pricing here, folks. But we cannot take advantage of that if Greta's is just buying some little cages. So we really need some help to raise some funds to help Greta's do this. We're on our way, but this is what Max is doing for a birthday fundraiser. He's asking for some help for his friends at Greta's Roost. That fundraiser, it is, I'm going to say it's in the video description here. It's off of our website. 888 Max. Max. Yeah. Oh, you're such a good bird. You are. And what we're trying to raise there, it's all Canadian dollars. So if you are spending US dollars, your transition to Canadian dollars is really, really favorable. I mean, you spend just over $7 US, you've donated $10 Canadian. Same with the euro. I mean, there's some really good exchange rates there. But it can make a major, major difference. If even 10% of our followers on YouTube and 10% of our followers on Facebook each donated $1, we would surpass our goals very, very easily. So we're hoping that you're going to consider supporting Greta's Roost and our GoFundMe to celebrate Max's Hatchversary. You can also donate directly to Greta's if you prefer. That's also great. Just let us know you did that so we can add that one to the tally. But Greta's Roost's really, really wonderful group of folks, and we want to support them. So go to www.maxthemoluccan.com, and that is a really, really great way to find out more about the GoFundMe that we are running and to donate and help out. We did a call out on our Saturday party of the folks who donated, and we are going to recognize them again on our July the 1st party. Right, Max? Yeah. It's pretty exciting. So I'm just going to catch up on comments here a little bit. But yeah, 31. That's pretty amazing. Wouldn't it be cool if people donated $31 to you, honey? 31 Canadian? What's that, 25 US? It's not too bad. But even the cost of a cup of coffee, I mean, and if you're not in the position to donate, that's fine too. You can help support our fundraiser. Very easy. Just go to it and share it. Share it to your friends and just say, this really cool bird that I follow, Max, is raising some money for Parrot Rescue. It's a great thing to support. And just share it out. That is an easy way to support it too, right, Max? So donate or share. Comment on the posts that you see us talking about the fundraiser, because the more comments and likes we get on posts, the more the algorithm will show them to other people. So you can make a difference even if you're not donating. You can support us just by sharing it and getting the word out. Coffee's beginning to get cold, buddy. We got some folks saying hi. Hi, Gavin. Hi, Shircy. Hi, Susan. Kelly loves ya. Hi, I'm Borbo. Hi, DJ. Sorry to hear that, GLD. Yeah, I'm never sure how to pronounce some of the names, so I might get it wrong, and if I do, just give me a correction in the comments. A gentle correction, just say, hey, it's actually pronounced X. Got one of our followers, a really, really sweet lady named Regina. And every time I see her name, I try to call her Regina, and then I stop and I say, whoa. You're not a city in Calgary or in Canada. You're not a city in Canada. You are Regina. And, but I called her Regina for the first little while until she let me know, and I was able to correct it. So I do have a reader's vocabulary, and I may not know how to pronounce your name properly. Right, Max? Do you see people? Yeah, there's people. It's exciting. Oh, GLD says, I love that Max met Gizmo. We've met Gizmo a handful of times. We might do a little bit of a collab with him coming up. If that's something you want to see, tell Gizmo that you want to see a collab with Max. I mean, just comment on his videos and say, hey, we want to see more Max. And we will make it happen. Emily, Kyle, and myself will make it happen. But let's make sure that we tell Emily and Kyle that you want to see it, and you tell us that you want to see it. So Gizmo, this week we ran into him at a seniors home visit that we organized with the Calgary Parrot Club. And a couple of weeks ago, he was at the Parrot Club Barbecue, which was a fundraising event for Parrot Rescue. So there's all sorts of stuff that is happening, right, Max? All sorts of stuff that's happening in support of Parrot Rescue. Gizmo does not go outside a lot because he is not harness trained. But indoor events are easy for him. I know he's going to be at Palooza this year. Tables are not up for sale yet, but I mean, I know Max is going to be there, and I know Gizmo's going to be there. I mean, it's a given, right, buddy? You're always there. Yeah. What else can we talk about? Morning, Kirsten. Oh, Morticia asks, what are some of Max's favorite toys at pet shops? Anytime he visits pet shops, his favorite toys are seeing people and talking to people. Quite honestly, Max really, really enjoys playing with toy parts. He's not super interested in hanging toys. He'll, for the most part, ignore them, but he likes wooden blocks. I actually have a collection of wood out here that I'm going to be cutting down. And I keep saying that, and I really need to get out here with a hammer and a saw and just start cutting it down. Yeah, Max, that's going to be good, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, and wood that's been outside, I'll actually put it into a bucket and toss in some boiling water to make sure that we kill off anything that's on the wood before we give it to the birds to chew on. Yeah. Giovanni asks, will he fly away and then come back? So Giovanni, Max is actually wearing a harness today. It's red today. He picked out red, and you can see the leash here. It goes around his back as well. It's a full body harness. We wear harnesses from Aviator Harness, and that is security. Now, Max is not likely to fly. Very unlikely, but a scared bird has amazing powers of flight. And I'm going to point out something here. You look at all those buildings over there. Those are 3-story buildings. You look at that busy road. Of course, I'm pointing my camera at it at the time that there are no cars on it. Got to wait for all of those lights to change. But if Max wound up flopping into the middle of the road, a car could very easily hit him, and he would not have a clue what to do. He would not realize that it's danger until something happened. And trust me, cars here drive into Canadian geese. So if they drive into Canadian geese, they could easily drive into somebody like Max. So safety. Buildings like those across the street, 3-story buildings. I mean, ours here, this one's a 2-story building. And at the side, it's 3 stories. I could get up on the roof. I've got a ladder, but I don't want to. Scared birds have amazing powers of flight. Hundreds and hundreds of birds are lost every single year, and it's absolutely heartbreaking. Some of them are outside without restraint. Others just go out through a door or window when people relax vigilance. So you have to be super, super cautious. But too many birds are lost, and when a bird is lost, what happens is that they hide and they sit quietly. And you could walk past them 100 times and not realize that they are there. Right, Max? Yeah. Scared Max can stand like a statue. I've managed to lose Tico in the house. Now, Tico is an African gray. I fed him one morning. He had a box to play with. And I folded in the top of the box. There were no holes in the sides of the box. I folded in the top of the box. Gave him his morning food, and hey, Max, please don't chew on your harness, honey. And he was playing happily by himself. And I went downstairs and I looked, and there was no Tico in the cage. At this point, I started questioning my sanity, and did he walk out of the cage and I closed it after I fed him? Like, this could easily happen. And I started calling his name and looking around for him. I looked carefully every corner of his cage. There was no bird. This is a toy box. It had no openings in it. I mean, I took a close look, and it's like, well, it's a new box. It does not have any openings in it. So I kept looking. I went upstairs. Okay, the downstairs door has been latched. It's been closed, so we didn't go down there. I opened and closed cupboards because Tico's been known to walk into cupboards, and I called his name. And I walked around for a bit, getting a little bit concerned. I reassured myself I hadn't opened up any doors or windows, so I had to be inside the house. And eventually I picked up the box that was inside of his cage, and then I realized that box was a lot heavier than it should have been, and I heard somebody slide. So I popped open the box. Tico had gotten himself into the closed box. Well, what had happened, I had just cross-folded the flaps at the top of the box. Just folded the flaps in of themselves, and I thought he could chew his way in and have some fun. And what happened is he probably stepped onto the top of the box. The folded flaps flexed just enough for him to slide into the box and then closed above him. And because it was pitch dark, he stood quietly and didn't say a word because he was a little bit scared about what was going on. He heard me calling for him, and he was wondering when I'd come, but he didn't say a word. So I walked past him basically 100 times in my own living room. So if I can lose a bird inside of a house, inside of his cage for that matter, a scared bird outside, oh my gosh, there's so many more hiding places. Yeah, that one was pretty funny. After that, I made sure that I cut a window into every box so that somebody had a little bit of light and a place to start chewing. And, you know, if scared, I'd at least have an eyeball looking at me a little bit anxiously. Yeah, Tico's gotten lost inside the house before, but, you know, scared birds tend to sit quietly, and even if they know you're looking for them, they're scared. They're going to sit there without a peep. So, yeah, so always a harness, always safety first. If Tico does not want to wear a harness, then he only comes outside wearing, the heck's that? That's a little wasp flying. You can ignore the wasp, buddy. He only comes outside in a carrier if he does not want a harness. April, it's Regina, Saskatchewan. Regina is the name of a person. Regina is the name of the city, typically. Although I'm sure some people pronounce it differently. Sharon's here. Hi, Sharon. Yeah, we just thought we'd do a pop-up stream. We've been talking a bit about our fundraiser and our website, and I know Sharon's going to share that right in the comments for us. Yeah, no, it's always safety first with the flock. So I talked about our fundraiser. Etsy store, we've got some new merchandise up on it. We are now doing a couple of shirts directly off of our Etsy store. Different sizes are available. I've got to rework the listing a little bit, but you can order in shirts with different color backgrounds. Got some in stock. Anything that's not in stock, we're going to do a custom order, and those are available in your choice of color and size. We've got 3 designs there, and then you let us know what other designs you want us to make available. The shirts on Etsy, because we're doing the custom, and we're trying this one out. Max, up, thank you. Oh, my foot's falling asleep. You're heavy. Because they are a bit custom, they do take a little bit longer, so 1 to 3 weeks. They come a lot faster if we've got them in stock, but they are worth waiting for, right, Max? Yeah. Sharon says, I lost Dexter for an hour in my house. He got inside the kitchen cupboard. I now have baby locks in my cupboards. I've had a similar thing happen with Tico. It's hilarious. Well, folks, and on our Etsy store, we've got a new design of coaster. So, folks, it's getting really hot out here, and I'm beginning to turn into a sun lobster. So I'm going to ask Max, can I get a buck, buck, buck? That was a bark, not a buck. You see a dog. Can I get a buck, buck, buck? Buck, buck. All right, buddy. All right, just going to shift this. So much stuff coming off the roof. I just flip over the cushions when I leave the chairs. Oh, big bird. Big bird, big bird. What you gonna do? Big fluff. We got a little bit of a display. And Max. Oh, there's finally a breeze. Yeah. Well, folks, I think we're going to call it an end to the stream. We've been streaming for 45 minutes, and I'm really beginning to overheat, so it's time for Max to go into. But I appreciate each and every one of you hanging out with us outside today. Sharon, thanks for popping in. Thanks for our moderators. We love each and every one of you. I'll see you folks later on Einstein live stream. We'll be moderating that one. And yeah, Bok Bok, everybody. You know, one more Bok Bok. Sorry, Sharon. Yeah, I'm just melting. I'm going to have to go in here. All right, Bok Bok. There. Oh, there we go. Okay.